In her latest book, The 7 Breaths to Slimming, she's making a very bold claim.
Overabundance of diets and superfood.
So welcome to Wellbeing Wednesdays with HarbinderNarula on BW Wellbeing World. Today we have our guest, Dr.NamitaJain, who is a wellness expert, a nutritionist, someone who's authored many books and has just released her latest book, and is also an entrepreneur. In her latest book, The 7 Breaths to Slimming, she's making a very bold claim. What she says is that sustainable weight loss does not begin with diets. It actually begins with a pause. A pause before what you eat and a pause for 7 breaths before your meal. Is this true? I don't know. Let's speak with her. Dr. Namita, welcome to BW Wellbeing World.
Thank you, Harbinder. It's such a joy to be on this show with you.
Dr. Namita, you've spent years teaching nutrition, you've spoken about fitness. Is there something that happened in your life that led you to realize that the knowledge alone is not enough?
Absolutely. Actually, it's been since the past 12 years. I've noticed there's been an overabundance of information, overabundance of diets and superfoods. And you can see that because there's so many gyms and health centers mushrooming everywhere. But the key that I found, no matter which diet or superfood there is, there's one aspect that is non-negotiable when it comes to success, and that is discipline. So I think this book, 7 Breaths to Slimming, is just about that. No matter what you follow, but you need to inculcate a certain level of discipline, and it must come from within.
So Dr. Namita, you've been teaching nutrition and fitness for a very, very long time. Is there something that happened in your life that led you to believe that just knowing something does not work?
Absolutely. You see, Harbinder, that's such a good question, because everybody is looking for that one particular diet or one particular quick fix solution. But what they miss is that whatever you follow, you need to have discipline. And that discipline to sustain must come from within.
Dr. Namita, the title of your book, 7 Breaths to Slimming, makes it appear that it is a very, very simple thing to do. But because of its simplicity, when imagine somebody is asking that, does this possibly work? What is it that you have to say to them?
Absolutely, the 7 Breaths to Slimming works. I mean, that I say with complete conviction, because at the end of the day, unless you develop a habit of discipline in your life, and that habit also should not be very, very strict. It has to come naturally. You're not going to succeed, neither in a diet nor in your work environment or in anything. You need to have the will, interest to succeed, and that needs to be a habit. And this book, I hope, will help create the habit.
Fantastic. And Dr. Namita, is there something that you believe is the biggest myth to weight loss that our society still continues to believe?
Yes, I think everybody is looking for that one particular diet or one particular food or one particular health resort that they find is the perfect answer. But they don't realize that answer or whatever success was achieved was because they followed that particular diet, or they were in that environment that helped them to sustain their willpower and their habit to achieve the goal. But at the end of it, you need to inculcate, and that that desire, that habit needs to come from within. And I must add also, motivation for discipline is very important.
Namita ji, in your book,
Yes.
you have been talking about that people don't need yet another diet.
Yes.
They need a pause.
Yes.
Right? Why do you think that people in the modern life of today, they have lost touch with hunger and the concept of fullness when they're eating?
You see, often we live on autopilot, where we don't have a right approach to meals. Think of a day when you are doing 20 things and your mind is distracted or stressed, and then you go to eat your meal. You're probably not even concentrating on what you're eating or how much you're eating. So the minute you take time and pause, you're pausing for stopping your emotional state of upheaval. You're pausing to relax. You're pausing for discipline. This is what the 7 breaths do. They help you in 1 minute, they create that breath pause to improve your relationship with food, thereby helping you align with your goals.
You know, Dr. Namita, this leads me to ask you something which is
Yes.
very, very important. And I've probably asked this to a lot of people.
Yes.
You know, in one of my conversations earlier with a spiritual master, she spoke about the relationship with food.
Yes.
And that's what you just said as well.
Yes.
And when you are establishing a relationship with food, it is about the energy that goes beyond the calories. Right?
Absolutely.
So what is your belief on the energy that people bring to the food? So somebody who's cooking that food,
Yes.
somebody who's serving that food, and the person who's consuming the food. Do you believe that there is some energy that you need to, some divine energy that the food has as an impact on you?
Divine energy is the key. I mean, that's controlling actually our lives. It's such a subtle, important energy which we are not able to notice. And of course, I mean, if someone prepares the food with love, you feel the vibration, because vibrations are felt. When you're doing, when you're eating in a harmonious environment, and you know, you actually enjoy the food better, you're better nourished. When you are eating with a correct approach to your meals, you realize that you want the food and the enjoyment to work for you and not against you.
Correct.
It works against you when you eat too fast, or you eat in excess, or you eat without knowing how much you're eating, or even sometimes what you're eating.
Right.
So I think, yes, we are all human beings, but we are all bundles of energy at the end of the day, and we are all trying to be in harmony, you know, with our environment. Definitely.
Namita ji, what happens is that, you know, when you're passionate about something, you can't help but give suggestion, advice to someone who you see struggling with what you are passionate about.
Yes.
Right? It happens with me all the time.
Yes.
You know. Similarly, I'm sure when you are sitting across someone who you see struggling with obesity,
Yes.
right, you want to give them a suggestion. What would be your first suggestion to them about what they need to stop doing immediately if you see someone struggling with obesity?
I think they stop needing to be stressed, because you don't realize what stress does to your body. And a lot of people in my interactions, when they talk to me about losing weight, they are stressed. They also are not kind on themselves, because they feel their failures. You see? So if we start on that footing, you're not starting on a positive note.
Right.
So I feel that one has to be kind to oneself, understand that it's a journey. Like life is a journey, and we are going to succeed. You have the willpower to succeed. De-stress, relax, and you will get there.
This is so beautiful, because this is more like a humane approach to helping someone,
Yes.
rather than kind of pushing them on something that they're anyways conscious on. Dr. Namita, one of the things that we've heard people say is that you must stop eating when you're 80% full.
Yes.
Right? This brings in some level of consciousness to understand when your body gives you signs.
Right.
But most of us
Right.
fail to identify that sign. And we
Right.
continue to eat, we continue to binge
Right.
until we feel really, really full.
Yes.
Right? Why do most of us continue to eat even when our body is already full and it's sending you signals?
You see, in life we do a lot of things on autopilot.
Mhm.
We do a lot of things on habit. And we do a lot of things sometimes unknowingly also. We are not aware. Sometimes we are not aware that what we do is not working for us and it's working against us. When we start becoming more aware of how we approach people, situations, life, food in general, and with that awareness, we stop doing so much that we do on autopilot.
Mhm.
Then we start, making those things work for us. For example, when someone eats, say, beyond 80%, or when you eat 120% of your stomach capacity, you realize food is no longer joyful.
Mhm.
At the end of it, you feel sleepy, you feel sluggish, you feel bloated, you may feel acidic. Okay, so is that experience making you joyful? No, it's not. If you stop before you're full, you feel light, you've enjoyed the meal, and you still have energy to carry on with so many other things that you might want to do. So the minute you approach your meals, you improve your relationship with food. And here I've said the 7 breaths technique, which is a 1-minute pause. It's a 1-minute investment that helps you relax. It helps you remind yourself of the discipline, and it helps you stop at that 80%. It's that 1-minute discipline. It just slowly starts becoming a habit, and you enjoy the process rather than the process working not for you. And the answer is basically autopilot. We're creatures of habit at the end of it.
So what is the seven breaths to slimming?
Yes. So the 7 breaths to slimming is a 1-minute pause.
Mhm.
It's a 1-minute pause you take for 7 breaths. The first 2 breaths are just to relax. Breath number 3, 4, and 5, you do a small affirmation. So you breathe in, you say mentally the word control, and you breathe out. So the next 3 breaths, 3, 4, 5, is to inculcate discipline. Breath number 6 and 7 is to seal the contract that you're going to do it. Because breath 6, you breathe in and you say, I can control mentally, and you breathe out. And breath number 7 is when you breathe in and say, I will control, and you breathe out, you've signed the contract with yourself.
And is this before you start eating?
This is absolutely before you start eating. This is 1-minute pause before you start eating, and then get into your food. Imagine just before your meal, you're thinking 100 things. You've got 100 things in your mind. You're not even very conscious of what you're going to do. So maybe also you're emotionally stressed, you're angry, there's anxiety. So your breathing is also not deep. When you're anxious or you're stressed, your breathing is, shallow.
Right.
Right? So this helps to move out of shallow breath into deep breathing.
Got it.
And the minute you take in more oxygen into your body, and the minute you're relaxed, as I've even spoken to many doctors, as it's mentioned in the book, they say a calm mind is equal to a calm abdomen and is equal to better digestion and better absorption.
It's very interesting when you're talking about calm mind and better absorption, better digestion.
Yes.
When you're dealing with your clients,
Yes.
your people,
Yes.
they come from different walks of life.
Yes.
You've worked with entrepreneurs, you worked
Yes.
with CEOs, very
Yes.
very senior people
Yes.
who have a very stressful lifestyle. They could be traveling a lot. You worked with homemakers,
Yes.
right? Is there a pattern that you see among all of these people who have successfully been able to manage what you're teaching them?
Yes. I see that there is a motivation and a drive for them to inculcate discipline in what matters most. That is created and cultivated. If food and if slimming or better health is not so important, it takes a back seat. So every time you say I wish, okay, it's mild, you have to say I will.
Right.
Okay, from wish it has to go to will. And I feel with regards food, the 7 breaths helps you to shift from I wish to I will.
Fantastic. This is really really important, because I truly believe that if you want to do things, you can't just stop at wishing. You need
Yes.
to act
Yes.
to make it happen. Dr. Namita, something that has always been on my mind is that people binge when they're very emotional.
Yes.
They are responding to emotions.
Yes.
And so people start eating when they're stressed. People start eating during exams.
Yes.
Or situations that trouble them.
Yes.
Is it the emotional eating which leads to a food problem, or is it the food problem that leads to emotional eating? What is your perspective on
You
this?
see, when you're meeting friends, what do you meet? You always say, let's meet over coffee, let's
Right.
meet over a meal.
Uh-huh.
So food is also emotion, because you're meeting to enjoy that particular evening out with the foods that you enjoy. So it
Right.
has a lot of emotional quotient to it. You don't say, I'll meet you, without any food being in front of you. So when food is connected to emotion, okay, and we all know it is connected to emotion, when you're emotionally depleted or when you're emotionally starved, very often you can use that as your crutch. So sometimes you drink more, you eat more, you binge eat, because
Right.
something is lacking and you're using food to fulfill that.
Got it.
But I must add, there is also one set of people who actually abstain from food. So there are 2 types. One is they binge eat or they lose control, and the other type, they don't want to see food because they're so sad, they're so upset, they're so depressed.
Right.
So I would say it can work either which
ways.
way. Yes.
Either ways. But definitely there is a relationship between how you feel and how you respond to eating.
Absolutely, because the whole concept of food and meal is not carbohydrates, fats and proteins in people's mind. It is nourishment, it is bonding, it is something which they look forward to. It's an emotional connect.
And what I've also seen is that when people are emotionally strained, they take on to sweets and sweet foods. I mean,
Right.
I've seen people going on to get a chocolate
Right.
because they want to feel energetic,
Right.
they want to feel happy.
Yes.
Is there a relation between sweets and emotions?
Yeah, I would say there's a relationship in foods you love, okay, and emotions, okay, because again, mark my words, foods you love and emotions.
Right.
Even love is emotion.
Got it.
Right. So when there's a lack in a certain part of your life, you move towards what you is nourishing, nurturing. So you tend to go there, because then you're viewing that as something which is giving you something which you need at that moment.
Something that you crave for.
Yes.
Something that you crave for. This is really beautiful. I also believe that we pick up habits from the time when we are very very young.
Yes.
And if you really want to inculcate good food habits, it needs to begin when you are a child.
Yes.
Right? And children observe their parents, their friends, their whatever is happening in the school. Is there a way that you would recommend that we should change or bring in inculcating good food habits at school or at a very early age at home?
Yes, I think the most important thing is make them aware. Because if lack of awareness is something which will not create good habits. And the other thing which I feel a mistake which people make is to force discipline. Then they do the reverse. So just make them aware, try to inculcate healthy eating habits within the home. And children pick up best when they are watching things, they are watching people. So if you tell the child or the parent tells the child to do something and they themselves are not following that, whether it's exercise, breathing, any kind of sports or good food habits, they are not going to be convinced.
Got it.
So I think one needs to gently and intelligently make them aware and leave the choice to them.
Dr. Namita, let me come back to your book.
Yes.
In this world that we are living in of Ozempics, injectables, as well as various apps that are there to help you lose weight, get control over your food, etc. Do you think that this 7 breaths technique is still relevant?
I think 7 breaths technique is the answer. I think it's a win-win. What do all these injectables or these weight loss pills do? They create satiety, right? So you eat less. What happens when you wean off these pills? You go back to your original hunger levels.
Right.
Right? Do pills come with a side effect? They all do. Does breath and oxygen come with a side effect? All positive. You're inhaling more oxygen, you're expelling more carbon dioxide. It's a win-win. So why not allow yourself to do something which is naturally easy for you? And why should we not be convinced that simple is effective? Why should we be convinced, no, there's an answer somewhere there, or there's an answer somewhere there, let's try that. Why not go back to self? Why not go back to breath?
It's very interesting because what you're saying is that there is a simpler technique available.
Yes.
Why do you want to complicate things? But we're living in a world today where unless something is really hard to do, something that is really complicated, people feel that the simple thing can't work. It's been there, tried that kind of a thing. There's the assumption around it.
Yes.
What is it that you would say to such kind of people who are always looking for solutions which are really complicated?
I would say that we're already stressed. Man is already stressed.
Right.
Stressed living, stressed in so many different aspects of life. When it comes to food, and it's a relationship which you have probably 3 or 4 times a day, you're having your coffee, you're having your meals. Why should that be a stress? Why should one say that unless it's a stress, I will get results? Why not say that I would like that to be joyful? Why not say I don't want stress in that area? Why not give yourself a tool or a technique to empower your own self and create your relationship with food so that it works for you? And the minute you start seeing results, isn't that motivation enough to develop a habit where you are not dependent on so many marketing gimmicks that are floating around, which may not be beneficial for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I love the way you've linked joy with food. That's very, very beautiful. Dr. Namita, among all those people who have adopted the 7 breaths technique, what has been the most surprising feedback that you have got from someone?
The most important feedback and the most common feedback is that they love things simple. You see, the world is getting too complicated. It's advertising too many things on this is super, that is super, this is the perfect pill. You know, I think we're tired. I think we're tired of, you know, keeping track of everything that is so complex. I think what works eventually is being in harmony with oneself and understanding intuitively, with intuitive wisdom, what works for oneself and harnessing that power in this. And I think that is something which I've been told, it's simple is effective.
And in this book, I mean, I love the cover of this book. It's,
Yes.
you know, it's just very, very stark and in your face. In this book, there are various messages.
Yes.
But among all the messages that you have in this book,
Yes.
what is that one message that you feel that will be relevant and will be remembered and should be remembered 20 years from now when people go back and refer to this 7 breaths of slimming?
I would say that number one, there is no magic formula out there. If you're looking for it, you will not find it. The answer is within you.
Right.
The answer is within you. Your connect with what you need and the habit that you create to achieve it. Unless you get that, nothing is going to work.
Fantastic. Dr. Namita, I want to have a rapid fire kind of a questions with you.
Please,
Is that
yeah, please go ahead.
So first is, what is worse for weight gain? Is it stress or is it sugar?
Stress.
One food that people have unfairly blamed always.
Sweet.
It's not that bad?
It's not that bad.
Awesome. That's very encouraging for me. One food that people have wrongly considered healthy and they should stop consuming.
Again, sugar.
Okay.
Because you see, why should we cut out something which is joyful? Why not cut back?
I love that. Don't cut out, but cut back.
Cut back.
Awesome. Would you like to finish this sentence with whatever you feel is appropriate? Most diets fail because?
Most diets fail because of lack of discipline.
And what should people do in the first 10 seconds of beginning to consuming the food apart from the 7 breaths?
They should take a pause and relax.
What is the biggest mistake that busy CEOs make with their food?
They eat on autopilot.
What do you mean by that?
Then it's a habit. They're not conscious of so many things. You go into a hotel room, you have the basket, you know, the complimentary basket, you have those biscuits. You go see a buffet laid out for you. You need only this much, but you try so many other things because it's there. So it's all autopilot. You're not approaching the food with what you need. You're approaching it because it's just there, because you're used to it.
I can so relate to it. When you're sitting in a meeting and something is lying in front of you, just keep munching and you're not even aware of what you're doing, right? Can mindful eating outbeat the calorie counting?
Definitely, because when you're mindfully eating, you're controlling calorie intake and food intake.
And what is that one habit that has changed your life and which you vouch for?
Breath, deep breathing.
Dr. Namita, first of all, thank you so much for reminding us that sometimes the biggest transformations don't begin with a gym membership or getting a diet or getting a miracle pill to help you taking control, and helping us understand that what needs to happen is a response mechanism to what you already have inside of you. Becoming aware of it and making it connect with the food you consume and connect with your own inner self. So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your thoughts. Is there a message, a parting message that you have from this book for anyone who's watching this?
I would say definitely do try practicing 7 breaths before your meals. You will be surprised how much it will help you.
Namita, thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure talking to you.
It's a pleasure.